question to you, Clive, and Joe, so you can piggyback off her. What are some do's and don'ts if you feel that you are suffering or on the brink of suffering, if that makes sense to you?
The do's and don'ts. So I think if you're suffering from any type of mental illness or any mental illness, to talk to someone, anyone. I don't care who it is, a friend, family, a neighbor. Talk to someone. The don'ts is keeping it in.
Right.
Don't ever keep it in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying previously, he said that it's like you keep yourself in. Later on, the pipe is gonna burst eventually,
Right.
and that's something you don't want to do because at the end of the day, when it does burst, it may be too late. So at that point, I don't ever keep it in.
Yeah, but okay, so what would you say to those people who fear keeps them from seeking that help because they feel like they might be judged?
I'd rather you fear being judged and talking about it, right, than you keeping it all in and something else tragic happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right. But sometimes some of us...
but let me ask you real quick on that. Is it fear or is it pride?
Good one.
It could be both.
Really?
Because the thing about it is, remember, to go back to what you were saying, we was taught to be strong, to be this, and that. So here I am feeling how I'm feeling, and I don't want to come off as I'm weak.
Gotcha.
Right? I don't come off as I'm weak, even though I am like down on the inside. But can before we go a little further, I just had to say, tell Claudia, from what she shared with us before we went on break, man, she got pregnant at 19 while she was in school and stayed in school.
Right.
So I think we got to celebrate that.
Oh yeah.
Not only she graduated with her bachelor's, but she went on to get her master's at NYU. So she is somebody who's sitting right here, like she's real. She's not a mirage or anything like that. To show you that, listen, even though this happened, like she didn't use that as an excuse. She didn't say, you know what, oh, now my life is over, now this. She used that as motivation, and she never forgot what the vision for her life was, regardless. And kudos to you, Clav, and all the wonderful queens out there who went that same route, and they made it.
That's really good.
Do you have a point on that, Joseph, as far as do's and don'ts?
Yeah, well, first of all, again, kudos to you.
Thanks.
What you've been through and you achieved, and I believe that is the same thing in mental health also. That you could be going through something, but you know what? Don't stay where you are because there's still hope for you. There is hope, and there are people that are here to cheer you on. There are people that are around to help you to move to the next levels in your life. You could be sad, you could be depressed or whatever it is, but there's somebody out there. There are resources are out there. One of the do's that I'll tell you, make sure that you talk about it. As Clive said before, right? The don'ts is never ever think that you are by yourself.
Right.
You are not by yourself. You are not alone. You can go to a religious center. You can go find community action workers that are in your neighborhood that can help you, but you are not alone. You are phenomenal. You are powerful. You are wonderful. You are made right? Don't let anybody ever try to downplay you for who you are, because you are here on this earth for a purpose, all right? And it's going to happen for you, but you are not alone.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys believe where, as a community, where do we start?
I think you start within yourself. You start talking to yourself. Start thinking about planning what you want to do. Do you want to get better? I can tell you get mental health, get mental health treatment all I want. But if you don't see it for yourself, it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but what I was mostly saying is, going back to what Joe had said earlier, we was raised a certain way.
Right.
I believe everybody can chime in on this. I believe the conversation needs to start at every household. Right. We need to make the environment. It's okay for mothers and fathers, even single parents. Sit down with your kids and just talk, right? Let's not act like mental health doesn't happen. Let's not act like depression and anxiety. I remember growing up, my father, every day at 6 p.m., that was when we ate dinner together around the table, and he would literally go and ask, how was your day today?
Wow, you just
Rest in
I gotta interject because people gonna watch and they're probably gonna miss that point, so I need to point it out. At 6 o'clock, when we ate dinner together around the table as a family.
Yes. Yeah. Not in front of the TV or anything like that.
As a family. And when we talk about the mental health, we're talking about structural before. All of those things lead into the economic impacts as well, which can affect the mental.
Yes.
And Clav, you had a story that you wanted to share?
Oh, yeah. So me being in the mental health field, I deal with a lot of crisis. So some of the crises I deal with, for example, is people who have bipolar, people who have depression, major depression, people who have schizophrenia. So I've been dealing with this with a lot of my clients for many, many years. So I met this girl in high school, and we clicked instantly. And from high school when we met till forever, we just clicked and we became soul sister. And her name was Chrissy. She was fun, loving, spiritual, ecstatic, soulful. Energy will shine up any dark room. When she walked in, she just felt her good energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was just pure goodness. And she was adopted, and the family that she was adopted into is a beautiful family, good brother, good sister. Everyone is very, really, really good. But her biological parent suffered from mental health, schizophrenia to be exact. And so within 2019, I picked up some things that her character was changing. Because as I told you before, she's very spiritual, fun, energetic, cool person to be around. You can't have a problem with her. If you have a problem with her, you're the problem. That's how dope she was. So 2019, I was picking up some characteristics that she was having, paranoia, and she was having she was telling me she was hearing things, and she was having death experiences. And I said to her, Chrissy, I think you need to go to a psychiatrist because I think you may be suffering from schizophrenia. And she'll be like, no, I don't suffer from schizophrenia. And I said, I think you need to go to the doctor. And she said, no, I'm okay. So as time goes on, it continued to increase. The voices got louder, and she continued to suffer. She was continuing to suffer. And around the time I was getting married, I was getting married in 2019, so I was having a wedding, and she was my maid of honor, but she couldn't do it, she couldn't perform her duties because she was suffering. So I understood that, and she said, you know what, Clavia, I'm gonna go to the wedding, but I'm gonna sit down at this. I respect it. And I was pregnant. So in 2019, I was getting married. And I was pregnant.
In this episode alone, you've been pregnant like 3 times.
Facts.
3 times. So I was having a busy year in 2019.
Shout out to Darius.
So
he works out a lot,
Yeah, he surely does.
So it's that Akasun,
right? So she was going through so much, and I just gave birth to my daughter, and I just get a text message that Chrissy's on Facebook, and she's saying that she want to harm herself. So now social media is involved. So as I saw this, God woke me up because I had to feed my baby, and I just woke up and someone was telling me go check on her. So I called to see where she was at. I said, where are you? She wasn't answering, so she started texting me everything. She said, I just want to say you've been the best person. You're my sister. I'll always love you. I just want to tell you goodbye. So as she's texting me, I had to get in social work mode. I said, okay. I called 911. I told the address. I said, get there. And I called a friend. I told a friend, please get to her. My friend Tori, she was able to run to her house. And when she got there, the police was already there. So I told the police, please take her to St. John Hospital. Wait until her family gets there. So I already knew the protocol. I already knew I was on it like this. But I couldn't leave because I just had a newborn and I didn't have a sitter, so I couldn't even go. So I did everything from the house.
Yeah.
So we was able to keep her there for 2-3 months, and she was PO'd, like she was mad. She was like, "You got me here,
All right.
and I'm mad." And
Can I
leave.
pause you right there? Can you let the media know why you called 911? What is one of the protocols as a social worker or a counselor?
It's,
Why you called?
911, what they do, what they're supposed
No,
to.
why did you call?
why did you
Oh, what did
call?
I
Yeah.
call?
Yeah.
Why did you call? Because now she's mad at you. But what is the protocol?
You're mandated.
I'm mandated reporter.
That is
Yes.
the reason
Yeah.
why.
I am
And because
a-
she was a
I'm
what? She was
mandated
a threat
reporter.
to
She was a
herself.
threat to herself.
Yeah.
And she was a threat
whoever's
to might
around
be
her.
others.
Right. Thank you
So
very
she
much.
had to do it.
So I had no choice. So, right, and that was another reason why she was pedoed at me. She's like, "You're a social worker." I thought I was talking to a friend. I said, "Well, your friend is always a social worker."
Yeah.
So I'm always
You
gonna
got
be on
both.
it.
Best of both worlds.
We're always gonna be on it. So she was there for a few months, and then she got out. We talked about safety plans. When you're dealing with someone who is suicidal, it's important to have a safety plan. Why?
That's right.
Because the plan, you're not going to be with them 24/7. So it's important for them to create a safety plan for themselves. So we created a safety plan. We talked about if this was to happen, call Clavia. This was to happen, call your mom. Something to get things going. So a month or two passes, and she gets back into the hospital because she wasn't taking her medication, and the voices got louder, and it was getting bad. So her mom brought her to the hospital. She stood there for a month, and she came out. So the last time I had a conversation with her, I went to her sister's baby shower, and we had a conversation about how she used to be versus how she is now, and how it's important to take care of herself, and how I'm gonna be there regardless. And then she told me, "Well, Clavia, I'm scared."
Yeah.
And I said, "Chrissy, don't need to be scared. I'm here." And she didn't. The problem with when you suffer from schizophrenia, you don't know what's real and what's fake. You don't know what's real, what's fake, and then the voices in your head it's gonna get louder, and it's not gonna stop, and it's gonna tell you things that you don't want to hear, things that your worst enemy would tell you, but it's your self-conscious, your mind, is you telling yourself within your mind that you're no good and you shouldn't be in this world. So she was fighting this every day. And the last time I spoke to her, she said that she was scared, and I hugged her, and I said, "I'm real. Hold me, and I hold you, and we're gonna get through this together." And that was Saturday. And then Sunday came by, and I said something to myself. I'm like, you know what? I remember telling Chrissy Saturday, we're going to see each other. So we're going to hang out on Monday. We're going to just chill. It's me and you and our friends. We're going to hang out. We're going to be together. And then Monday came, I went to work, came home with the baby, and I get a phone call from her mom saying that they found Chrissy on the floor from Glenwood, which is one of the tallest buildings in Yonkers.
Before you even go, I wanna pause you right there because you don't. Thank you for sharing that. You don't have to give us any more, but I would like to ask you a question that may be uncomfortable.
Yeah, go ahead. It's not uncomfortable to me because my experience with her, although she's no longer here, and it kills me every day. Every day it kills me that she's no longer here, because at the end of the day, Chrissy was a person that held me, like a chair.
And that's
you
why
knock a chair off, you're on balance.
Right, balance.
Right.
And that's why I want to ask you, with all the help you were giving and have been giving,
Right.
who's helping you deal with that?
Right. So right now, I try to take it day by day. But I have my husband who also lost someone around the time Chrissy lost someone. We lost his mother. So with him dealing with his mother and me dealing with Chrissy, they died a week apart. So we were able to.
But see, that's why I didn't know it was gonna go this route. But I want to take the time to hold you accountable currently.
Right.
Because you're a professional, and you're telling us, and I'm getting chills right now because you know that you and your husband alone are not adequate to help you guys deal with that.
No, we did get counseling.
Good, great. That's what I was getting to. Great. That's what I was getting to. Great.
We did get counseling.
It's why I say, see, this is not hypocritical.
Right.
Right.
As a clinician, I'm gonna say this is somebody that's a professional, somebody
That's
that's
right.
certified, someone that's educated in what they do, that also gets help.
And that's
Right.
the point. That's
Yeah.
the
We
point.
should
That's the
always-
point I
very
wanted to get
important.
to.
Every
Right.
therapist
Yeah.
needs a therapist.
Every
Every
therapist
doctor
needs
needs
a
a
therapist,
doctor.
right.
And that's what we see. That's what we're talking about in the break about. Like you said, every therapist needs a therapist, and that's the point I wanted you to get to, because everyone
Yeah.
can hear you say that stuff and say, well, if she's dealing with all of that,
Right.
what help does she get? And
Yeah.
all of you just heard her say, no, we got professional help,
Right.
not just
Yeah.
Right.
ourselves, not just
Yeah.
our love, us being together, but we got professional help. And
Yeah.
I know I can speak for everyone that's in this room right now and say
Oh,
that
yeah.
we applaud you and your husband
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
for
you.
doing
Most
that,
def. Yeah.
and we want to let everybody else know that you can do that for yourselves as well.
Right, and it's important to get that because,
Right.
like, if the counselor, like, we was gonna go to because when you deal with death within the marriage,
yeah.
your marriage doesn't go up; it goes downhill.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Our marriage was going downhill
Yeah.
because the two people within our lives who held both of us up,
Lifelines.
they
Yeah.
were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always went to his mother, and any stressful advice, and
Mhm.
he always go to his mother. I went to Chrissy. That was my rock. That was his rock. Two of
Yeah.
them gone. Now we're going downhill, and it was really weird because Junior was telling us about when we.
Joel, just so everybody knows.
That's me, guys. I'm Junior
when
this
when
week.
we got married, Junior was doing our counseling session, and he was also doing the baptism part. And he told us, when you get baptized, I'll never forget. He said, when you get baptized, the devil is gonna get you. And he said, when you get married, it's coming. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. And I didn't understand what that meant until we lost them, and it got really hard.
Yeah.
So counseling is very, very important.
Extremely
That's right. And I-
important. So one of the things I had told her that she's referring to is, as a believer, you got a mark on your back. Right? You got a mark on your back. But then when you take that step further into your walk with Christ and also get married, now you have two bullseye, but one moves now to your front, which is your heart.
Yo, one to the
Right.
front and back.
Right.
Yeah. So the thing is, we always knew about the back thing,
Right.
but the weapons that comes and attacks your heart, that's different.
Right.
That right there
So we're gonna
is different.
we're gonna wow, this has been an amazing
This is
amazing
great.
pod.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up, but before we wrap it up, I just want to get closing remarks from Clav,
Yeah.
Joseph, and then Joel, if you want to add something before
Yeah,
I
of
take
course.
us on out of here.
Most def.
Anything that you of substance or you feel that might be useful if you want to say
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
anyone, you could do that.
Yeah, I one of the things Clive was talking about, she was talking about the marital piece. I'm going to talk about the children piece real quick. I believe that every parent right now, you have your children, it's really important. Just hug them.
Yes.
Make them feel safe. Make them feel like they're the best things that ever happened. No child is a bad child.
No.
Okay, that's one of the things in our communities. We say, "Oh, my child is so bad. My child is this. My child is that." Listen, the child is created by the environment that he or she is in, and as that child grows up, he's just going to be, or she's just going to be, the reflection of that environment. That is why it is important, as Joel said before. At 6 o'clock, they sat together. Right, and they talked about the day. Maybe you can't even sit with your child at 6 o'clock, but you know what? Go into your child's room, knock at that door, and say, you know what? You're special, and hug that child. Make that child feel safe. Make that child feel like they're worth something, and you know what? That child will always appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, Clav.
Mental health is very, very, very important. Although tragically, God rest her soul, we lost a beautiful person in this world, but her death did spark a lot of attention on social media for other people to seek mental health. So once that happened, a lot of people I've seen on social media talked about, where can I get counseling? Counseling is really important. I'm seeing all this stuff on social media. So it's important to get counseling. It's not a bad thing to get counseling. Believe me, trust me, I'm for it. I'm always going to push people towards it. But if you don't feel like getting counseling, just talk to someone. As we talked about before, do not hold it in. If you have a sister, brother, friend, neighbor, go to them.
It's extremely important. One of my favorite scriptures in Proverbs says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." But then I like to partner that up with in the New Testament where it says the enemy has to come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. It's extremely important. Your thoughts matter.
Yeah.
Okay? The way you think about yourself matter. And if you don't feel right, if something is just pushing you or rubbing you the wrong way, talk about it.
Talk about it.
Go talk to somebody. If you go to church, talk to your pastor.
Yeah.
If you can't talk to your pastor, find somebody that you can talk to, your best friend. Just somebody that you can take your mask off and truly be yourself. And if you don't want to do a one-on-one thing, maybe you want to sit in a support group, do something. Find something that allows you to gain control of who you are. Me, for example, I'm somebody who has suffered through anxiety and even depression. And one of the things that I know that I need to do for me, sometimes I need to step back.
There you go.
I have two dogs. I'll take them on long walks to the lake.
There you go.
I'll pick up rocks and start throwing it at the lake. Or I'll call, my brother Eugene, and hey, what are you doing? We'll meet at the bar and enjoy some calamaris.
I know, that's right.
Whatever you have to do,
Might have something.
just know that you're not alone. You don't have to be by yourself. You don't have to handle life by yourself. You do have people who love you and to cherish you. And I am begging, please, right now, for those of you who've seen this, let us start. If you haven't started already, let's start having these conversations in our homes, okay?
Right.
Let's start having it in our homes. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, let's sit down. Let's start having these conversations.
And some of the ways that we could start is just knowing that there's information out there.
Yes.
We'll put in the description some sites. We'll, talk to them offline so that way we can get some. But you could go to NAMI.org, which is National Alliance on Mental Illness. It lets you know right on the homepage that you are not alone. Yeah. And of course, we would be remiss if we did not talk about the National Suicide Prevention Line.
Yeah.
That is suicidepreventionlifeline.org, and the telephone number is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. And I must say, I know we're early on in this thing, but this is probably one of my most proudest episodes besides episode 1 with getting started. Right. Because the more and more I feel like we do things that can actually give back to people, the more I feel like we're actually walking within our purpose.
Right.
So I want to thank Joseph and Clav. I want to thank both of you for taking the time.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all, for real.
Thank you so much.
As you both just said, you have families. You need your mental health, your self-care you have to take care of. So I appreciate you both divulging your experience and information with us. And guys, if you're still watching, if you're still with us, if you're still listening on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, if you're watching on YouTube, please give us a like, comment, share, subscribe. It's all free. And please don't forget, 1-800-273-8255. It's all right to reach out for help. This is Breakfast with Bros, episode 12.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah.
Arrivederci.